Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Τα προγράμματά μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Located at the top of Yeongjubong Peak, behind Manhole, a 5-story stone pagoda is a stupa enshrining Shakyamuni's Sariras from the time of Queen Sandok of Shilla. Mount Myohyang, Korea's Fragrant Mountain, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Just cause your women give you the feeling that you are a worthless case, making war won't impress them at all.
If you have the pleasure of visiting Korea, a useful phrase to learn is 잘 지내세요? That means, how are you in Korean? Beloved viewers, I am Hanbit, a vegan northern goshawk gentleman. My family represents the national bird person of the culturally rich and historic Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and we are grateful for your benevolent actions that uplift our world. Welcome to part 2 of our program, exploring Mount Myohyang, Korea's Fragrant Mountain. Mount Myohyang was designated a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve in 2009 due to its ecological and cultural significance. One of the main attractions at Mount Myohyang is the International Friendship Exhibition Center, a large museum that holds gifts to Korean leaders from dignitaries all around the world. It is located across the street from Poyeonsa and was opened to the public on August 26, 1978. The massive museum contains over 150 rooms, with the main building situated inside a mountain. Tens of thousands of gifts given to former Supreme Leaders and the current Supreme Leader, dear respected comrade Kim Jong-un, from foreign dignitaries, companies, and prominent individuals are housed in the International Friendship Exhibition. The center exudes a sense of deep-rooted amity and diplomatic respect shared by global leaders. Poyeonsa, or Poyeon Temple, is one of the most famous temples in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, located deep within Mount Myohyang and built in 1042 during the Goryeo dynasty. In the Dongguk Yoji Sungnam, a Korean geography book compiled in 1481, it is written that the temple had 360 sub-hermitages across the entire Mount Myohyang, but now only about 10 hermitages remain, including Kumgang Cave and Puryongdae. Poyeonsa was named after the worshipped Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, one of the 3 sages of the Avatamsaka world in Mahayana Buddhist practice and meditation. Samantabhadra means universally worthy, or he who is all-pervadingly good. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva is said to protect all beings who teach the Dharma. Originally, the ancient temple had more than 20 buildings and pagodas, many of which were sadly destroyed. When visiting the Poyeonsa, there are 3 ceremonial gates that were used to enter. After passing the first and outer gate, Joge Gate, you can find commemorative steels that explain the history of Poyeonsa. The stele of Poyeonsa, built in 1141, explains the historical origins of the temple. The chronicles of Poyeonsa in Mount Myohyang at the top was handwritten by Injong, the 17th king of Goryeo. Below it is the chronicle of Poyeonsa with the writings of Kim Bu-sik, a prominent historian and author of Goryeo. Considering that the king and the best writers of the time participated, we can guess the high status of Poyansa at that time. The third and innermost gate of the temple is Chonwang Gate, or Gate of the Four Heavenly Kings. Statues of these four Buddhist deities are housed in this area. The Man's Pavilion, or the Pavilion of 10,000 Years, is a former meditation hall directly reached through Chonwang Gate. A large bell and two large drums hang in the pavilion. Monks in the past were thought to have rung the bell in the mornings and beat the drums at night. In front of the Man's Pavilion stands the Tabo Pagoda, known as the Pagoda of Many Treasures, which was constructed in 1044. It is a tetragonal 9-story pagoda and is considered the feminine counterpart to the iconic and octagonal 13-story Soka Pagoda. The Soka Pagoda is considered the most famous pagoda at Mount Myohyang. Soka means Shakyamuni, erected during the late Goryeo dynasty. This pagoda stands between the Man's Pavilion and Taeung Hall, which is the main hall. Standing over 10 meters high, the top of this granite pagoda is adorned with a bronze ornament, while wind bells hang on each level and each tip of the eaves. There are 104 bells in total. This pagoda is considered the highlight of the Goryeo Stone Pagoda. The formative beauty of the pagoda can be confirmed even when the height of each floor is calculated based on the 7th floor, which is the middle of the tower, and they are all the same height.
Note that the eating of flesh is not only physically against nature, but it also makes us spiritually coarse and gross by reason of overindulgence and excess. Plutarch, vegetarian.
Faithful viewers, we'll pause now to greet our cousin family just back from the southern part of Korea. We will return shortly after this brief message, here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Mount Myohyang, Korea's Fragrant Mountain, Part 2 of 2. An indispensable figure in Mount Myohyang and Poyansa is the monk Hyujung. He is honored at the Kumgang Cave, a hermitage built at the end of the Goryeo dynasty, in a cave about 15 meters wide and 10 meters high. One of the great and respected monks of the Joseon dynasty, Hyujung practiced for over 40 years and taught many disciples here. He was also called Sosan Desa by the public, which means Great Monk of the West Mountain. The West Mountain referring to Mount Myohyang in the west of Korea. One poem by Hyujung goes like this.
눈 내린 들판을 걸어갈 때 그 발걸음을 어지러이 하지 말지어다. 오늘 걷는 나의 발자국은 훗날 뒷사람의 길이 되리니.
Suchong Shrine, built at Poyansa, is a shrine dedicated to Hyujung. In the center of the shrine, there is a portrait of Hyujung. To the left and right are portraits of his two famous disciples, Yuchung or Samyeon Desa and Choyoung. There are relics on display, including the 6-ring staff used by Hyujung. These are the stupas, where the sharidas, or relics of monks who practiced at Mount Myohyang and Poyansa, are enshrined. Currently, 44 stupas and 19 steles remain. There were more stupas here, however. The stupa of Hyujung has disappeared, and only a part of his stele remains. Puryongdae, a hermitage located in the middle of Mount Myohyang's Papwang Peak, is where the shadow of the Buddha resides. This is the place where the annals of the Joseon dynasty, or veritable records of the Joseon dynasty, listed on UNESCO's Memory of the World Registry, were kept. Joseon, founded with Confucianism, placed great importance on records and history. Professional historians and officials kept detailed records for future generations, which could not be read by even the king and could not be altered. Of 4 copies of the annals of the Joseon dynasty, 3 of them were burned, and the last remaining annals were moved to Puryongdae, where they were safely stored. Thanks to this, it was possible to preserve the valuable historical records of the early Joseon dynasty. Beginning in the 1980s, the government began to collect Buddhist relics scattered throughout the country. More than 5,000 Buddhist relics are currently stored at Poyonsa. So, Poyonsa also serves as a Buddhist museum. The 6-meter-tall Dharani pillar standing at Poyonsa was originally a Buddhist pagoda at Boljeongsa Temple in North Pyeonggan Province. In the late 1980s, while disassembling this artifact to move it, another artifact was discovered inside. It is a small bronze pillar made in the same shape as this Dharani pillar, now safely stored in the treasure room of Poyonsa. Another Poyonsa storage room is the Tripitaka Koreana Preservation. A total of 1,159 volumes of the printed Tripitaka Koreana are kept here. In 2007, the Tripitaka Koreana Buddhist scriptures were also registered on UNESCO's Memory of the World list. The carved woodblocks are stored in the Janggyeon Panjong, or Tripitaka Hall of Haeunsa Temple, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Tripitaka Koreana has been printed 17 times since their creation. The 1937 edition was kept at Poyonsa and stored in Gumgumgul, the residence of monk Hyujong. It is now preserved in a vacuum in the Tripitaka Koreana Preservation. Located at the top of Yeongjubong Peak, behind the main hall, a 5-story stone pagoda is a stupa enshrining the worshipped Shakyamuni Buddha's shariras from the time of Her Majesty Queen Sundok of Shilla. In 1592, Hyujong's disciple, Yujong, rescued part of the Buddha's sharira and brought them to his master's place. These were enshrined in the pagoda of Poyonsa Temple. This fact is also recorded on a stele stored in the treasure storage room. Of the numerous Buddhist treasures protected in the northern part of Korea, the worshipped Shakyamuni Buddha's Sharira Stupa, the Tripitaka Koreana, and the legacies of Hyujong are called the Three Treasures, and Poyonsa is valued as the temple that houses them. Mount Myohyang, the place where Korea's forefather once resided, is certainly a sacred site filled with history and vibrant life. We thank the Democratic People's Republic of Korea for preserving my beautiful home and for sharing this national gem and natural paradise with the world.
Vegan, 'cause if you can't stop the suffering but don't, that's cowardice.
Thank you, blessed viewers, for your company on today's program. Coming up next is Shining World Invention Award recipient, Dr. Karthikeyan Kondon, Golden Age inventor of affordable, sustainable prosthetic limbs, here on Supreme Master Television. May we be forever grateful to the Divine for all He has bestowed upon us.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/NB.